Everybody's asking the same questions in 2025. Is Airbnb dead? Or are you just doing it wrong? Let's talk real numbers, real markets, and what's actually working. Yes, Airbnb can still be profitable in 2026, but not the way most people are doing them. The easy money era is over. Airbnb is now a real business, not passive income. Strategy, location, and execution matter more than ever. Why people think Airbnb is dead? Well, first, over-leveraged investors bought at peak prices, bad locations, non-tourist areas, HOA restricted, weak demand, no pricing strategy, copy and paste furniture, rising costs, insurance, taxes, utilities. Look, Airbnb did not fail you. Bad underwriting did. So in 2025, we still had strong demand, strong travel demand. We had strong midterm demand, meaning 30, 90-day bookings. There's a lot of Airbnbs that are winning right now. But when we are looking at the investing in Airbnb, there's a couple things that we really need to pay close attention to. Location, location, location. Just because the property is located in Central Florida or Kissimmee does not mean that it's a great location. The question is, where in Kissimmee? All right. The same thing if a property is located in Polk County. Where in Polk County? You have to understand your targeted audience, and you have to understand location, location, location. Now, while speaking of location, there's a community that is being developed right now in Clermont. I think it's called Panther's Run Resort District. And this is a very interesting community. Let me grab my notes on this. It's a very interesting community. It's a resort district concept. All right. So with hospitality and a zone for short-term rental. There are going to be 2 resort-style hotels there, both of them hosting 600 rooms. That's 1,200 rooms in total. All right, there's going to be 1,000 vacation homes, 1,000 single-family homes, zone for short-term rental. Amenity rich. It's only 15 miles from Disney. 15 minutes from Disney. 30 minutes from downtown Orlando. Looking at the paper, this is going to be a great community, great opportunity, but is it really? There's a couple things, underlying factors that we really need to pay close attention to with this community. Now, I'm gonna be keeping close watch on it. Now, right now, it's still in its planning phase. I think it's not scheduled to break ground on the single-family homes until like 2028, when we possibly see the first single-family home in 2028. With that being said, there's a lot of time to do your homework, right? Being that this community is going to be just south of Wellness Way, just north of Davenport, again, 15 minutes from Disney. It's right in a key location area that's being developed right now. There's a new highway, expressway that's being built from Highway 429, Highway 27. There's another short-term rental zone community just south of this one. I think it's called Windsor. Yeah, Windsor K Resort. All right, that's just across from the Walmart off 27th, right there, borderline of Clermont and Davenport. So there's a lot of key things that you want to consider about this community. Now, I do like the location of this community, but when you understand what's going on in Clermont and also that Reunion area, then there's some things that you want to pay close attention to, like the CDD, Community Development District. Also, when we talking about resort style communities, that's something that I definitely would keep a close watch on is the HOA. How much is the resort fee going to be for this property? Now, the average rental rates around Central Florida for single family homes, and we're talking about anywhere from 4 bedrooms up to like 5, 6 bedrooms, right? You're talking about the average daily rate is ranging from 180 to 350. Now, when I'm looking at a new community like this one, right? Of course, the area, location, logistics of it, it's key. But there's some things that we got to make sure we pay close attention to. Now, if the average daily rental rates for the area is 180 to 350, if this community does not have a higher demand than the average, but it has a higher HOA than average, then I don't see this being a great investment opportunity, especially for new investors. All right. Now, pricing wise, I think getting in early would be the best opportunity, especially if you're coming in with financing. Again, with the CDD, the utilities, taxes, insurance, those are the things that you really got to pay close attention to when it comes to the short-term rental, because that's where your expenses start to rise, and that's what makes the biggest difference. And if you have a set expense like an HOA that's above average, for me, looking at HOAs, I think I would want to cap my HOA at about $400 a month. And I don't care how well an Airbnb perform. I think $400 a month is about the max that I would want to pay for an HOA, because anything more than that, there are better options out there that can give me a similar return, right, with maybe less amenities. And so these are some of the things that we want to compare and look at. Now, there is a lot of competition coming to the short-term rental market. Now, I love this location again because it's right there by your Wellness Ridge corridor, Clermont, Davenport, Winter Garden. So I think it's location-wise, I think it's perfect. But we still need to look at some of the underlying variables to this community. Now, I'll be keeping close watch and I'll be giving you tabs on this. Now, there's some other things that when we're talking about investing in short-term rentals, some other things you want to sort of understand that can make or break your short-term rental investment. And that's the books. Now, I'll be doing another video breaking down the taxes and the books aspect of it, because you want to learn how to map out your Airbnb on paper. All right. It might operate well, cash flow well, but you have to understand how it works logistically on paper so you can really benefit, maximize the benefits of having an Airbnb for tax purposes and so forth. All right. And so I will be breaking that down in another video. For right now, there's a lot of opportunity, I think, in the Airbnb market. Airbnbs are not dead, but you definitely want to have a real strategy, not just a regular strategy, but you want to have a pricing strategy. You want to have a marketing strategy. Airbnb is not your cookie cutter, get Airbnb and let it run. It's going to make you money. It can make you money, but you can also go have these streaks where you have stale calendars. And so that comes marketing strategy, pricing strategy, real strategies and concepts of how you're going to keep your Airbnb booked. All right. There's a lot of changes going on in the market. You have to stay up to date. Sometimes you have to pivot. One thing that I would refrain from when it comes to Airbnb and the short-term rental. Now, I love the short-term rental zone communities, of course, because that sort of alleviates having to worry about, restrictions. But the thing that you really want to watch out for when it comes to the short-term rentals is the cookie cutter aspect of it. So if a short-term rental community is offering furniture packages, or if they're requiring you to go with a property management company, those are the red flags for me when we're talking about short-term rentals, because it's really going to be hard for you to differentiate your property, especially with the furniture and so forth, that make your property stand out. If there are furniture packages, if it's sort of made like a cookie cutter, like a hotel type venue for your Airbnb, because the only thing that can differentiate your Airbnb when it's in that type of package is pricing. And so the only way, again, to keep your calendar booked opposed to somebody else's calendar in the same community is to lower your price. But the expenses and utilities and fees and costs to run your Airbnb, price stays the same. So with that being said, that is a bad option to be able to keep your Airbnb booked. So I never want to be in competition with a hotel or other Airbnbs alike. I will always want the freedom to be able to customize and uniquely create my Airbnb for my desired targeted market. And my market may not be the same as someone else's market. So you want to look for that type of flexibility and creativity when it comes to looking for your Airbnb. I'm Emmett Combs, your Airbnb superhost, broker here in Florida and Georgia. If you're looking to invest, all right, in short-term rentals, long-term rentals, multifamilies, please be sure to reach out to us. I would love the opportunity to sit down and have a consultation with you and see what works best for you and your portfolio. All right, again, you can reach me at 786-277-1190. But before we go, I would love to get your feedback. Do you think Airbnbs in 2025 are dead, and what your expectations are for the Airbnb short-term rental market in 2026? Leave your comments below.